All right, cool. Welcome back to episode 22 of the Power Sports Memorabilia Show. As you can see, I have a guest with me today. This is the first ever guest we've ever had on the show, and it's a friend and customer of mine, and I thought it would be a fun thing to get some plumbing stories. Now, unfortunately, Mr. Dan Gray here is not a plumber, but his brother is, so he will be coming in and giving us some funny plumbing stories here in just a little bit. But let's start off with Dan. We're going to talk a little bit about his business, Quality Plumbing. They're up here in North Kansas City. And then we're going to get into some autographs here in just a little bit. So, Mr. Dan, thanks again for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being here.
Yes, likewise, man. And so let's talk about Quality Plumbing. You know, when did you guys start? Let's just kind of get the gist of the business and how you guys got started.
Okay. Quality Plumbing started in 1983. We did not start it. I have not worked here since then.
83, man. I know exactly how old that is. 35 years old then, right?
I think we'll be 30. We just turned 36.
Yeah,
like a month ago.
Yeah, all right. So 1 year after I was born, then.
Yep.
Man, I feel like this is just meant to be, you know.
I think it is. But 3 years ago, our family took it over and just.
So you guys bought out another? The previous owner then.
Friend of the family. He was kind of working his way out, and Pete and I worked here.
Were you guys then? You guys were obviously in the plumbing industry then, huh? This wasn't like a new venture.
Yeah, I've been here 8 years now. I think Pete's been here like 13.
So, in the words of like Office Space, what would you say you do here?
I do a lot of the billing and scheduling.
Oh,
payroll. Oh, like we were just talking about taxes.
Yeah, that's like the four worst things. It's like the four horsemen right there.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
That's awful.
But occasionally,
somebody's got to do it.
Occasionally, they'll let me out of here to do an actual plumbing job or help out on
the
business end of a shovel.
I think 10 years ago, I think you came over with Brett was at the house. My brother-in-law is good friends with him, and I think I had something wrong. I think I needed a new lever or something like that, and you had one in the truck or something, and fix it real quick. It was probably 10, 12 years ago. It was a long time ago.
That Lee Summit?
Yeah. Oh man, that's awesome. I totally forgot about that story. So obviously you guys do plumbing here, but let's tell people like what are like the basic services. What are your most popular services that you guys do?
Most popular. We do water heaters, toilet install, kitchen faucets. We do a lot of drain cleaning.
So none of the sexy stuff then, huh?
There's nothing sexy about plumbing.
What? So back when you were kind of doing plumbing, I guess you could say, you know, what are some of like the craziest things that you've heard of as far as like, you know, a funny thing that you went on or something that got caught in a drain that wasn't supposed to be there?
Pulled a lot of different things out of drains. Funny story I could think of. One of my first weeks here, I was working with my brother downtown on a job, and it was basically like a 7-story building that their plumbing was just shot. It was just the whole underside of the building was just collecting all the waste from everybody above. And we had to basically bucket it out of there and vacuum it out of there and reconnect the pipes, and I was knee deep in. So
that kind of like brings me to like another question, like, you know, so the trades have kind of gotten like, you know, the theme in the country, it seems like, is nobody wants to do the trades anymore, you know, and for whatever reason, you know. And tell me about it. Are you guys having trouble like finding people? Is that what your experience has been? Is nobody wants to be a plumber, electrician, carpenter, and stuff like that?
To an extent, yes.
So is it hard to find like quality people to hire and bring on board?
We've been pretty lucky with that.
Yeah.
And we've found, you know, Pete went through a 5-year apprenticeship program, so he made a lot of connections through that.
Yeah. Wow, 5 years, huh?
Yep.
That's crazy.
So when we've needed someone, I mean, he knows enough people in the industry that we've been able to, you know, recruit that way.
Oh, I see. Okay. So talk to me, like, if somebody wanted, just give me the watered down, rundown version. If somebody wanted to become a plumber, like, they say, hey, this is something that like I think I'd be great at, I want to do. How would they go about doing that?
They have to find a contractor. You know, so we would maybe take a guy with no experience, hire him, and then put him through school.
Oh, I see. Okay, so he would be kind of working here at the same time while going through school.
So it's a lot of on the job, and then like 2 nights a week, I think they go to school and are learning and.
So just kind of book stuff, I guess, and then they're doing the hands-on work then with you then.
Yep.
So they go around just kind of like a drive around with somebody else then, or are they going out?
Basically, no. They would ride with somebody and just kind of learn from experience.
Yeah.
And then at the end of their schooling, and I think guys can technically take a year off. It could take longer than 5 if they wanted to, depending on their circumstances with family life and home life. But
Gotcha. And plumbers make pretty good money though. I mean, it's a good living wage, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Good deal. All right, so let's tie this in a little bit with sports here. You know, you guys have a sponsorship, didn't you guys do at a local
We
soccer field?
sponsored the soccer dome.
Yeah. Where's that at?
It's
For people who don't know.
a couple miles east of here. It's down in like Front Street 435 area, and
So who plays there? Is it just like leagues and stuff like
it's
that?
the Comets practice facility.
Okay.
So
Cool.
they practice there, and my daughter's team plays there. And there's just games on the weekend. Two indoor soccer fields.
So how'd you guys get tied into that through your daughter then, or?
Kind of through my daughter playing there, and I met Brian Bazinski, who owns the Dome, and he kind of presented us with that opportunity. And
Oh, he sold you, huh?
yeah, he did.
Yeah?
He did.
Wow.
Thanks, Brian.
So now you do marketing now too, huh?
Exactly.
See,
Yes.
That's what a small business is all about. Like, you have so many different titles. Like, there's just not one thing that you do, and I think that's why I wanted to do this video. Is it just kind of like it shows you like people can have a certain area that they focus on in their job, but like they're always doing something else, you know, and it's always cool to kind of highlight that stuff. And I think people want to become like plumbers and electricians and stuff like that. I just think that they don't know what's available to them, you know. I think people are just so gung-ho on this, you know, not to tie in this whole college scandal thing going on, you know, but it just seems like people just don't know that's an avenue that's available to them. And I think college is not for everybody, for sure, you know. So it's good to see that business, you know. And just to tie it all back in here, man, people are going to need plumbing for the foreseeable future, you know. They're going to need electricity, you know. I mean, carpentry is going to need to be done, you know. Construction is going to need to be done. So, man, that's all good stuff, man.
Yeah.
So, like, what kind of sports fans do we have in this office here?
We have a lot of Royals and Chiefs fans, which is a good thing.
Right.
There's
No Cardinals fans?
No Cardinals fans,
No.
Fortunately.
Okay.
I don't know that we'd hire a Cardinals fan.
Yeah, you're fired.
We do have a Patriots Red Sox fan, so
What?
that kind of can create.
Now, is that
some
person
issues.
from the area or no?
I don't think he is. I think he's got some family that way, but
That doesn't count.
I agree.
That's
So-
BS, man. It's like saying it's like just the fair weather fans, you know, that all of a sudden, oh, I'm a big Alabama football fan now.
Yep.
You know? Oh yeah, have you even been to Alabama? Do you know what states are next to Alabama? You know, I love it. Oh, Texas? You know, like no, not even close.
Yep.
You know, oh, that's cool, man.
So on the professional level, everybody's kind of the same. College level, there's some differences. We've got some KU guys,
Right.
Oklahoma guys.
Right. So obviously you're a big KU fan.
Yes.
You know, there's no doubt about that. So how did you get tied in with KU and become a fan of them?
I just grew up liking KU and basketball.
So
really.
only winners?
No, I would say it's more proximity to the school. You know?
That's true,
I feel like it's 20 minutes away, and I just kind of grew up.
Lawrence is like, what, 45-minute drive from here?
Yeah, I drive a little faster. than
But
you,
you
so
drive, yeah.
about 30 minutes with
And
the
then,
toll.
so Columbia is a good 2 hours, you know, and,
Yeah.
you know, okay. Makes sense then.
But yes, I am in Missouri.
Yeah. All right. Good deal. So how did you get into autograph collecting? So, I mean, you've gotten a few pieces for me, and we've, you know, mostly local kind of stuff, you know, so, you know, how did you get involved in it?
You know, I think I collected baseball cards as a kid and liked autographs, and I think as I've gotten older, I've been able to afford nicer pieces. So, and then once you got in the business, it's kind of
See, plumbing does pay off, you know, see?
Yeah,
You can afford some nice
graduated
autograph cards with people.
autographed baseball cards to actually some jerseys and.
So I posted a video about that, about, you know, everybody knows who Gary V is, Gary Vaynerchuk, you know. And
Love Gary.
See, Gary's the man. So Gary is big on cards now. And apparently he was buying some Greek Freak cards, and he was flipping them. Guy's making millions of dollars a year, and he's buying $150 cards and selling them for a couple
And
$100.
garage sailing on weekends.
Yes, man, and that's awesome, man. That's the way to do it. So I actually last night, this morning, was kind of searching around and was like getting not the bug to get back into card collecting, but I was just kind of looking at different business avenues to kind of grow the business. And obviously people do card breaks, you know, where you get the whole case and people pick teams and all that kind of stuff, and that's super fun for people. So I don't know if that's for me or not, but I was kind of looking to maybe, quote unquote, I guess it is kind of a gamble, you know, to try to get like an autographed card in there and get a nice, you know, a Trout or something like that. Those would be freaking cool. But I don't know. I like more of the autographs, but Gary Vee is really big in the cards. He thinks that's going to be like the next thing, like the sneakerheads are going to go to, because sneakerheads inventory is very, very slim.
Yeah.
And with the autographed cards, you know, there's a little bit more of a market there. So, all right, well, tell me. So you got into cards, and then where'd you go in from there?
Right now it's kind of jerseys and helmets are kind of my thing.
So, like, if if like money was like no object, right? You know, like you could just get like one piece that you would want to have. Like what would it be, like a Wilt Chamberlain Kansas signed jersey? What would you want to have?
Honestly, I think I would probably do like a Derek Jeter autographed jersey.
Derek Jeter, okay. Why would you do that?
Just fellow shortstop.
Oh yeah. Oh, so you were a shortstop?
Yeah, I mean,
in high school,
in Little League.
I
didn't even play high school baseball.
You play high school
Fellow
baseball.
shortstop.
Everybody plays high school baseball.
No,
Everybody gets on the team.
I golf.
He golf. Dan is a big golfer. Okay, so how did you get involved in like golfing? Why are you such a big golfer?
We friends of the family owned a driving range growing up, so that was basically my first job.
So was it close to your house then?
Yes, very close.
Okay,
so
that makes sense.
10 on, we were golfing there.
You know, I lived on I used to live on a golf course there, and when the driving range used to back up to it, and I remember when we moved in there, it was like my father-in-law was saying, "Oh, you could be the youngest golf member here," and I was like, "Well, how much is it?" And it's like $300 a month, and I was like, "No,
I don't like it that much.
No way." Like I play golf maybe once every 5 years, you know. And what's funny about golf too is like, you know, it looks so easy. So you go out there, and especially like, you know, coming from an athletic background like myself, you're thinking, okay, I can handle this, you know, I can hit this freaking ball straight somewhere, you know. And if you don't play for a while, it sucks, dude. Your timing is off, the ball goes everywhere, you hit the top of the ball all the time. It is honestly one of the most frustrating things. But let's talk about Tiger Woods then, I guess, you know. So obviously, the last weekend was the Masters. And of course, Tiger comes out of, I don't know, can Tiger Woods come out of nowhere?
No, but he kind of did, so in a weird way.
So you're a big golf fan. I follow golf, but you know I'm not a huge fan. So talk to me a little about like Tiger Woods. Like what does it mean to golf when Tiger is on his game and winning?
Oh, it's a huge thing to golf. I mean, it brings so many fans that wouldn't necessarily be a fan of golf. So
why do you think that is? Why do you think people like the non-golf fan? Why do they like Tiger Woods?
I don't know.
I mean, is it just his attitude?
I think it's his attitude and just the greatness that he's proven over.
So, do you think like the whole incident that he had with, you know, the pills he was on and then getting hit with the golf club? I mean, like, do you think that like helped him? Didn't affect him in any way?
I think it hurt at the time, but I think everybody's kind of forgiven him and gone past that. Right. So,
well, people were wearing those shirts with mugshot.
That was good.
You know. I'm not one of those people that say, you know, like you got to make mistakes in order to learn from it. You know, I think you can learn from stuff without making mistakes. But having a mugshot now, I think is actually pretty cool for Tiger. You know, I think he's got like this cool little face there now that everybody can kind of make fun of him. And actually, I think it's going to help keep him in check with the ego wise. You know, so it can be a positive thing. And you know, it just seems like he's always jacking around with his swing. You know, I don't know from what I've seen and heard on SportsCenter and all that stuff, it seems like he's changing his swing a whole bunch.
Well, that's what's so impressive about this I mean, he totally relearned a swing. I mean, he majorly changed his swing. And I couldn't tell you fundamentally what he did, but it's...
Hits the ball straighter, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. More in the hole.
Less strokes. A lot more in the hole.
Less strokes. Yeah. Oh, man. So let's talk about your autograph collection here. Okay. So what do you think is like your most favorite piece that you have?
My favorite piece, and it's actually at my house. I don't have room for it here, but I have a Ken Griffey Jr. jersey.
Okay, cool.
Signed.
Mariners one of them, assuming?
Mariners, yeah.
Yeah. Who wants a Reds jersey?
No, I wouldn't. No, you couldn't.
I mean,
number 30.
Yeah, number 30. But like, you know, you think of Ken Griffey, you always think of
2-4
Seattle Mariners, right? I mean, so all right. Well, what else you got in your collection here?
Back here I got Paul Pierce jersey.
We'll showcase some of these things here in just a second. Paul Pierce. Okay, obviously you got Chalmers piece too, because you got to have that
Yep, the shot.
Okay.
So that's a good one. Another new piece I actually got from you was the Robin Ventura Nolan Ryan.
Yes.
That's another
the dual
favorite,
sign,
and that kind of just ties back to childhood memories.
Yeah. Let's showcase some of these things real quick here. Let's get this little camera moving around here. All right, so let's talk about, you got your Paul Pierce here, you got your Kansas jersey, and then of course, so let's talk about, like, do you remember where you were like when this happened? What were you doing when this happened?
I was at another good friend of ours, Jeff Lacey's house.
Jeff.
So
Jeff's still playing a bunch of basketball?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. And they actually just won a state title, the North Kansas City girls.
He's coaching, isn't he?
He's coaching, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
And they,
coaching, you hear that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, and then this is the dual sign one you got up here too, with Robin and Ventura, and also Nolan Ryan too. This is the piece that like, this is the one that you got to have in your collection if you're like a baseball fan, simply because not only is it the greatest fight that I think of, like when I think of sports, but you've got Robin Ventura with the willingness to actually sign the piece now, which normally he wouldn't do. I mean, obviously, if you were a 24-year-old kid getting beaten up by, what was he, 30-something there at that time? I mean, would you want to sign that piece? Probably not. So, and then we got, of course, Chalmers here with the shot. And what else you got over here?
Got a Trout baseball up here,
Oh, yeah.
Ken Griffey Jr. baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Cal Ripken Jr. baseball. We got that actually at a Royals game. Pete got that. That's actually
Yeah.
Pete's, so that is not
So did he
my
get that one
baseball.
signed in person then?
He got, in,
nice,
in
dude.
person at a Royals game.
What else you got here? 85 World Series ball. That one's not signed, is it?
Yeah, that was, I went to the last game at the Metrodome. That was a ball we got pregame.
Oh, that's cool.
It was Royals Twins.
Yeah. All right.
So,
And then here's got Machado up here. $300 million man.
Yep, and there's the Trout.
Yeah, good deal. All right, so I'm here with Dan's brother, Pete. Pete is an actual plumber, so this is quite rare to have him in the building.
Rare.
People actually work around here. Dan's not one of them, but at least not as much. So it's rare to have a plumber in here. So we're going to try to see if we can extract some funny, appropriate plumbing stories here. Yeah, we'll bleep it out if it becomes too bad. But so Pete, just tell me, like, what do you run me through like a typical like plumber's day? Like, what do? You come up here probably 8 o'clock in the morning.
I wouldn't really say I'm a plumber anymore. I mean, I've got that knowledge base obviously, but my job now is just estimating, troubleshooting, figuring out the big problems, and the best plan of attack for customers.
So you're the one that figures out all the big issues that maybe like the other guys maybe don't have the expertise to do yet?
Yeah, I'd say most of my guys have that expertise. A lot of the stuff I'm going to is stuff that the customer's calling for a quote,
Okay.
prior to even calling for a plumber. They know it's a big job. They want.
So you're a number cruncher.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Shoot from the hip a lot.
Shoot from the. That's kind of like how I quote stuff. People call me about, how much is this worth? I get this like every day, and it's just like, I don't know, check eBay. It's just like
Google is your friend.
like how much knowledge do I have up in here is not nearly what's on eBay or Beckett or any of these other companies. So,
Right.
Oh man. So tell me about like how you got started here. I mean, did you come on over when you guys bought the company then?
No, I actually, probably about 15 years ago is when I came on. The original owner offered me a job and did a 5-year apprenticeship program, and been in the field probably 9-10 years.
So what do you see like is like the biggest problem people have with plumbing issues? Like, is it always the same kind of stuff, or is there just kind of a theme to certain things?
Commercial wise, it's always just abuse. A lot of it's just abuse. They get used a lot more toilets and fixtures and everything else, and a lot of the buildings in town are getting old. The plumbing systems are getting old, so can't keep up with the demand.
You guys do residential and commercial?
We do mainly commercial service, but a lot of residential starting to pick up.
So you can say majority of your customers and then commercial based then?
Yep.
Yeah. You find those easier or better to work with, or any different?
It's completely different. I prefer commercial service over residential, but
Because they're only open 9 to 5, huh?
that and there's less headache. It's just get your job done. And
So you guys do 24-hour service calls here?
we do.
So like, talk to me about like, how does it go down when like somebody calls at like, what are they calling like at 2 a.m. then? They got like a big problem going on?
Yeah.
So like,
we do.
what kind of call have you gotten like, or has the business gotten at like 2 a.m.? Like, it can't be a small leak, right? It's got to be something catastrophic, right?
Figure there's also a whole, society that works night shift, or there are people that are up at night, late at night, that need plumbing as well. So we do run into the random 2 a.m. My toilet's not working, come fix it type calls.
But I would think it's probably more of a commercial if you got people working an overnight shift or something like that, and something happens at the building at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we do. A lot of that stuff comes down to like water main breaks, that sort of thing.
Yeah, of course. So that obviously would be something you want to get fixed right away.
Yeah, they'll have a maintenance crew that works a night shift, and they want the building operational the next morning when everybody shows up. So
Gotcha. When all
those are the fun late night calls.
the revenue people coming in, the people that make the money. Okay.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of our customers are.
You ever run into issues where I don't know about you, but like us guys kind of think that we can kind of fix everything, or we at least want to try,
Yeah.
And do you ever run into issues where it's like the dude like didn't know what he was doing,
Yeah.
and just jacked up something and made it worse? Like what? Tell me a story or something like a case where you've kind of seen that happen.
I think like the most recent one was probably a guy that tried to put in a kitchen sink himself,
Oh yeah.
and he got it all together, but everything leaked. I mean, it was actually impressive what he was able to. How he connected everything, and I mean, it's all the wrong way. But
So what was the issue that he was running into and why it was leaking?
just basically doing everything backwards.
Backwards in what way?
Backwards as the way the fittings were all designed to connect and hook together, they weren't right.
So you're saying if you miss a step in plumbing, it kind of causes some issues then?
Yeah, absolutely. You miss just a common step that a normal plumber would know about.
Uh-huh.
If you don't know it, and you try to go a different route.
So
you fight it the whole
YouTube
way.
can only help you out so much, huh?
On that scenario, YouTube probably would help that guy out.
Oh yeah,
tremendously.
See, I get a lot of good information from YouTube.
Oh yeah.
In fact, I watched something yesterday. I'm kind of prepping for this one, like 14 plumbing hacks. And this guy, you guys should do stuff like this,
Yeah.
But it was like a 4-minute video about just stupid stuff, man, that you just don't even think about, like taking your pliers and turning the other way and using the rubber grip to twist stuff off,
Yeah.
It's just like stupid stuff like that you don't even think about.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I use YouTube all the time. If I get into something I don't know, enough knowledge on to speak.
Did you hear that?
Efficiently
An actual plumber
about-
uses YouTube too.
I do. YouTube, Google. I mean, it's your friend when you.
Do you have any manuals that you like refer back to? Like the actual paper ones?
Code books.
Yeah.
That's about the only plumbing related manual that I actually use on a regular basis.
Yeah. So obviously you guys deal with a lot of drain issues, drains getting clogged. What's some of the most interesting things that you've seen causing that drain to get clogged?
Trying to think.
I mean, obviously hair is probably one of the more prevalent ones.
Hair.
Have you seen I don't say you see a cell phone down there, but have you seen electronics down there?
Yeah, I pulled cell phones out of toilets. I've seen just giant turds.
So that kind of got me thinking about the whole wedding ring thing. You always hear about somebody flushing their wedding ring down. Have you ever gotten that call?
I have never. We have gotten that call. We have looked for them before.
And have you found any?
No, never have actually found one.
What are the chances of finding that? So if somebody's watching out there and they're thinking, I've heard this before, what are the chances?
If you just flushed a ring down the toilet, don't run any water, and I'd say your chances of finding it are pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what happens then? So you flush that thing down there, you don't do anything else in there. How are you going to get that ring out?
Run a camera down and actually locate it.
Yeah.
Figure out where it is underground. More than likely, it's down underneath your slab in your house.
So how would you go about getting it from there then?
Breaking up the floor.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so at that point,
It would be costly.
So at that point, is the homeowner like, okay, if this is a $10,000 ring,
It's probably worth going.
probably
out.
worth it. But if it's a cubic zirconia piece of junk from
Keep on
the
flushing.
mall, keep on flushing and
Yeah.
just get another one.
Yeah.
All right.
No, absolutely.
So are the main issues you guys usually deal with? Is it usually indoor, or you guys usually deal with a lot of outdoor issues?
It's all over the map, honestly. I'd say a lot of the bigger jobs are outside, but the complicated ones are deep sewer lines inside.
So have you had any calls in some shady areas where it's you don't want to be there after dark?
Oh yeah. No, I say I remember just back in the day as far as being on call, getting some late night calls where they give you an address and you show up and it's a vacant building in the middle of nowhere. And you're just and no cars to be seen, no people to be seen. It's this is almost like a setup.
So what they think they're gonna rob you for your stuff then, or the plumbing stuff?
I really don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
we get a lot of random calls that come in and shoot. I mean, we've had people call from old folks' homes where they're on their deathbed basically, and they call a plumber every day. And we had a guy one time was calling weekly for plumbing issues at John Knox Village.
Yeah.
I was like, no, that's a self-maintained. I mean, they have plumbers on site.
Oh,
But he was calling for service and bitching out at everybody that worked there.
I thought he was just calling just for he needed someone to talk to, or something.
It probably was more than just that. He wanted to talk, but
Yeah.
no, he was a regular for a while.
So what happens when you show up at a vacant building or something like that? I mean, are you thinking the address is wrong or?
on a few of them, I've honestly just walked away from them.
Yeah.
You know, where it was just the gut feeling that it wasn't right.
Right.
The guy said he was there. I'm around back, and there's nobody there. It's like something's not right.
So, does the person ever call back and say, "Hey, where are you guys?" Or has that ever happened? Or
Yeah, on that specific issue, I don't really remember what happened on that one, but it was just something wasn't right about it.
yeah, something down on Troost or
It was out in Independence, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Late at night at 2 a.m. in the middle of nowhere, basically.
Yeah, that seems a little dangerous. Yeah, no meth houses yet, huh?
Well, I've been in apartments where people were heavily using drugs.
Yeah.
So passed out while we're in there working.
Oh man,
That's working for the owner and
the owner of the building.
yeah,
then?
and the tenants are actually
Oh wow,
had,
so that's
had a rough night. Yeah,
So is that like the most uncomfortable situation for like plumbers to walk in and like?
it is just because you don't know what they're gonna do when they wake up.
Right. Well, because they don't know.
We have keys to the place. We're inside their home essentially.
Right. So yeah. So they're gonna wake up and be like, "Oh my God, who is this person in the house?" And, you know, and of course they're not in their right mind. You know.
Exactly.
You guys ever had any situations like that where you've been in someone's home and they've like forgotten that you were there, or maybe a spouse didn't know you were there and pulled a gun on you or something like that? Because like,
Not
what do
personally.
you,
No,
what do you do in my house?
I haven't. No, but that is always a concern, especially when you're dealing with a landlord and the tenant doesn't necessarily get along with the landlord.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that being a big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, everybody. That's the end of episode 22 of the Power Sports Memorabilia Show. Hope you learned something and had a few laughs in the meantime. Please hit that subscribe button wherever you're watching, listening. Please visit the website, powersportsmemorabilia.com. And if you need any plumbing issues here in the Kansas City area, be sure and visit our friends at qualityplumbingkc.com.